Hello everyone. I welcome you to the platform of Smart Connect. This Connect with Dr. Seema Bhandari, the Director of JBM Smart Start, would clear some of your doubts on online learning that comes up in the minds of many parents. Dr. Bhandari is one such mentor who has been spreading her positivity amongst many teachers, parents and students. Ma'am, I am personally one of your fans and thank you so much for guiding me to enhance and upgrade my skills. Dr. Bhandari is very motivating to many parents and teachers and students as well. She has been associated with the education sector for more than 4 decades and worked in different states of India and has contributed to redefine the education process. Stay tuned for some thought-provoking suggestions. I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Smriti ma'am, for such warm compliments. I don't know whether I deserve them, but one thing I know for sure that I'll have to strive really hard to deserve them.
Ma'am, uppermost in my mind is, ever since this pandemic unfolded, which education sector has been most affected?
Undoubtedly, it is the kindergarten education sector that has been most impacted. Please understand, it has confused the child so much. They had not stepped to the school, so how would they know what are the norms, what is the way of interacting? So it is the vital need of the child. Remember, child needs to get impressed by their teachers, by their peer group. The teacher's personality impacts the child, and they crave company of friends. This pandemic isolation, I would only call it isolation, has kept them away from all the people, and it has not been a normal life like before.
Definitely, ma'am. We know this for sure. But under these circumstances, what are your suggestions?
Maybe pandemic is a long-awaited halt to revolutionize the education sector. We must think now, put our heads together. Now is the time that we should gradually open the schools, call children at least thrice a week, 4 times in a week with COVID protocols. One way or the other, we have to expand our reach to the child's mind in these formative years. Let's not neglect it.
Yes, ma'am, that's a very valid point. So now, ma'am, many parents have this concern also that they are not able to grasp from online classes.
Right.
They are, being screen conscious. So what are your thoughts on these?
Not only they are screen conscious, they are getting distracted. You're absolutely right. I totally agree with you. Children especially are social by nature and they thrive on interaction and personal connection. It's food for them. Constant and consistent attention and support of parent is required at this juncture. They need the help, if not the parent. If parent is busy, it should be guardian or caregiver. Now the time has come for us to react to the needs of each and every child. Nurture their unique potential and make them discover their own strengths and weaknesses. They must understand their passions. Now I would say, we may call it bespoke education, we may call it blended learning or personalized learning, but time has come to think about it and implement it.
Ma'am, can you help me understand what is bespoke education?
Bespoke education is nothing but personalized, customized, tailor-made and adaptive to the child's capability of learning. Understand this. We can use gift of data, teach students progress by recall, see their reading level and behavior, keep a track on it. Beyond academics, learn about who the child really is and what are his strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely.
Till we identify that, it's no point pouring that. You can no longer pour the education on child. He has to evolve with it. So personalized teaching, learning to the absorbing needs of the child. One size does not fit all. We have to understand this. Focus on each child in rotation at school and also at home.
Yeah.
And then meticulous planning is the panacea that can achieve this. It's not something which you cannot achieve, for sure.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Ma'am, there are millions of children all over during this pandemic who have not been able to attend schools, and parents, because of their jobs, they are not able to devote time to the kids because they have to, earn their livelihood. So what are your thoughts? Is it really going to impact the kids' formal school years?
Definitely. We can no longer afford the learning gap in the age group 2 to 6 and also the primary classes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Now, let's find the solution. The solution lies in encouraging both face-to-face education, interaction with the teachers in the school, as well as online
Definitely.
education and activities in both the setups. Each will plug the shortcomings, and fuse them. As per the educational norms, how many days we are supposed to have school? 210 days.
Okay.
Now, most of the schools cannot achieve this. Why? Ask me why. Because of the past few years, it is sometimes heat wave, sometimes it's cold wave, sometimes it's fog, sometimes it's smog, excessive pollution, strikes, Bharat Bandh, and now pandemic. So whatever it is, difficult to conduct school in a normal way and give what you actually want to give to the child. So we can continue to engage children through both the mediums, be it online classes or reaching out to the regular school. And also, what you need to remember is we have to continuously be connected to the student.
Yes.
And the parent. That is what is the most important thing.
Definitely, ma'am. Ma'am, can you help me understand what is Smart Connect?
Well, we have to make parents partners.
Okay.
It is a total partnership, not opposing parties.
Yes.
We have given you your child,
Yes.
so it is your problem. And we say, okay, we are there with the child only for 6 hours or so, and now you look after the things. No, it won't work out like that way. We have to be absolutely work in the harmony. Each child deserves personalized attention and encouragement. Teachers and parents together plug and fuse these learning gaps.
Ma'am, in today's situation, kabhi haan, kabhi na, sometimes government is opening the school, sometimes they are closing the school. So this partial thing, why not we have only online schools?
No. The school infrastructure is a sanctified building. It's not called Temple of Education for nothing. It is wholly, solely dedicated to the learning needs of the children with a positive flow of energies, just the right vibe for studying. And it is not only studying either, there are so many things, learning is not happening only through the academics, it's happening through the co-curricular activities, and it's happening through the sports and the games, or even the widening of the thought process. So I think no school can be replaced. The household or the house can never replace the learning environment.
Yes.
Or even replicate it, because house has its own challenges, and it is a very casual thing. Even if you have a different room dedicated for the studies, etc., etc., still, the flow of the house, the energy of the house is very different. So I would highly recommend that let it be on the school only.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. And I agree with all your points.
Thanks.
Ma'am, can you please share some tips for plugging learning or achievement gaps?
Yes, I want everyone, the parents and the teachers, to support online as well as in-person learning. Face-to-face engagement with teacher is absolutely must. Relationship building with the child. You have to get into the deep recesses of the child minds and actually extract what they are really thinking. Let children share their anxieties. There's so many things which they can't share with their parents.
Yes.
There may be sibling rivalry. There may be some neighbor is troubling them. There could be so many things. You have to be a rock solid person available for the child 24/7 so that they can unburden themselves, share their anxieties, and hence you will be encouraging the social emotional learning. And more or less, you have to be a bridge between the parent and the child, and also the bridge between perhaps the school and the child. So the smoother the bridge ride is, the more child will learn, the more child will evolve, and the more we will be contributing to the education, and maybe, since I'm a little self-centered, to the Indian education.
Ma'am, all these tips were really very insightful and thought-provoking. There are still many questions in my mind, but I think we have to wait for our next Smart Connect.
Sure.
But the last question, why do you always speak about strengthening the foundation years, and what is the takeaway from the new online learning system?
Remember one thing. Preschool sets the foundation for learning and growth. Laying foundation is the most important role of any education center, whether it is playway, preschool, or primary. The foundation of learning, if it is strong, we don't have to worry. We will manage to erect strong pillars. The building will stay strong forever. Can you imagine if erect the wall without digging the basement and erecting the pillars? I mean, this is what I've learned from my chairman. He works more on the basement and the foundation, and then he thinks about making this multi-stories or whatever. But if we do that for the children, they will be so involved and clear about the basics that they will flourish anywhere, and it will stay with them forever.
Yes, ma'am.
So my personal feeling is that once we are working on the foundation years, we should totally dedicate ourselves to them, not worrying about what will happen in the middle classes or seniors classes, but this once done,
yes,
it becomes in your DNA, and you cannot fail. So hence the importance of foundation years, hence clearing the basics. I would also say that this is the time when we have to give them the learning ethos. And learning ethos are not learned casually. They are not available in books. Okay? We have to enable them to be more curious, more confident, and develop their observation. I, for one, been troubling my teachers by developing the parallel syllabus for the school, which is only based on the observation and observing things around. Those are more important questions to me, because if child gets into the habit of observing things around, they need to be blooming as far as their day-to-day education is concerned. There's no way they'll go wrong, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for clearing most of my doubts so thoughtfully. And I really hope that we are connected together. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.